Hello, dear students. Today we will do chapter number 10 of our English grammar book, Essentials of English Grammar and Composition. So, before we start the chapter, you should be aware of that modals are also verb. But two things, two main rules regarding the verbs which you have to remember forever are: first, modals are helping verb, they are known as modals auxiliary also. So, as they are helping verb, they are never used alone. They are always accompanied by main verb, and that main verb will always be verb first form of the verb, that is present tense only. So these two rules you have to remember forever whenever you are trying to use modals in your day to day language, or you are solving any exercise regarding the modals. So let us start this chapter, verbs modals, which is 10th chapter of your book. So, what are the modals and how do we use them in our sentences? A verb used to express the mood or attitude of a speaker is called a modal. So let us read some examples. By reading them out, we will come to know how are we using the modals in our day-to-day life without knowing it. Like, you should regularly visit your dentist. They must attend tomorrow's meeting. May I use your pen, please? May I come in? You can park the car in front of our house. So, these many sentences are having a modal in them. So, let us look at what are their uses. Look at the moods and attitudes expressed in the sentences given above. Which sentence I have just read? They are having one modals, and that word which is underlined is modal, and in each sentence it is working with a different mood, with a different attitude. Like in first sentence, you should regularly visit your dentist. Here should is used to give an advice. So by reading out this sentence, we have come to know that if we have to give an advice to someone, we will use should modal. Necessity, they must attend tomorrow's meeting. So it is necessity, it is compulsion, and to express this attitude, this mood of compulsion, we will use must modal. May I use your pen, please? Here, for seeking permission, for taking permission, we are using may. So there are different moods, different attitude of a speaker that are expressed by using different kind of modals. So here in this chapter we will learn out what are the modals and what are the different attitudes which are expressed by verbs modals. Fine, so let us start. So let us first know what are the modals. So there are commonly used modals which are 12 in number. They are can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought to, need, and dare. These are 12 in number, and they are used to suggest different things, different attitude in our sentence, like permission, possibility, promise, request, prohibition, ability. So there are different moods for which we have to use modal and which are generally used by us. So let us start learning about these modals according to their use. We will not learn according to the modal like can is used for which purpose. We will not learn according to it. We will learn according to the use. Like for permission, what are the modal which are used for permission? For ability, which modal or how many modals are there which are used for ability? So there are total 10 suggestions, there are total 10 attitudes which are expressed by using modals. So by these 10 points, one by one we will cover up all the modals. So let us start with first point, that is permission. If we have to take permission from informal person, then we will use can modal. If we have to take permission from a formal person like your teacher, your boss, or anyone with whom you have Formal relation with whom you have to make polite request, then you will use may model. And if you have to make very polite request, then you will use could. So look at these example. Here two friends are talking to each other, and friends, while talking, one friend has to take permission from another friend. For these two friends, they have informal relation. So for informal permission, the friend will use can. For informal permission, can. But look at second one, a student is talking to the teacher. So with teacher we are formal. So for formal relation, for formal request, or for formal permission, our behavior should be polite. So there we will use may. But if a subordinate is talking to an officer, means if you are talking to any officer of high rank, then your request should be very polite. So there you will use could. So these three, may, can and could, are used for permission, but their uses are different. Now second one is ability. If you have to express ability, the mood of ability, then we have two models with us, that are can and could. Can is used for present ability and could is used for past ability, and it depends on the tense also which you are filling, in which you are filling the model. If that tense is written in past, if that sentence is written with past tense, then you will use to show past ability could. But if that sentence is written to express the present ability of a person, then you will use can. But now what is the use of be able to? Be able to is also, or we can say can or could can be replaced by be able to. Suppose a sentence is Patel was able to keep wickets. So here in place of was able to, we can use a single word, that is a model, that is could. So for expressing past ability we can use could. For showing present ability we will use can as model. So these can and could can be replaced by is able to or was able to according to the sentence. Fine. For present ability can, for past ability could model is used. Now look at the second one, possibility. Till now we have done for permission and for ability. Now this is third one, possibility. For possibility means possibility of happening any event, possibility of happening any action. We use may, might or could model. So how can we come to know that which model is more suitable for possibility? That depends on the sentence. If the possibility of happening any event is very good, then we will use may, means may is used for good possibility. And if the possibility is weak, then we will use might. But if possibility of happening any event is very weak, is very less, then we will use could. But one more thing about could is that could also expresses a very weak possibility in the future as well, like she could come tomorrow. Here tomorrow is showing that the situation is going to happen in future, but as there is weak possibility, so we will use could for expressing weak possibility in future. So may, might and could can be used to show or to express possibility according to the sense. Now suggestion. If we have to give suggestion or advice to someone, what are the models which can be used to express this attitude? So if we are giving general suggestion, general advice to someone, then we will use should. But if the suggestion is regarding moral, like if we are suggesting someone regarding moral duty, then we will use ought to model. Like if I have just to say that we should include another fast bowler in the team, this is general suggestion, so here I have used should. But if I am giving advice, if I am advising you for your moral duty, then you will use ought to, like you ought to take care of your old parents, this is your moral duty, and for moral duty we use ought to as a model, because as we know models are used to express different attitudes. So here for suggestion, advice and duty we use should and ought to. Now promise. For promise we use will or shall. and will is used with all the person first, second or third, but shall is used with first or first person only. But it also depends on the sentence. If we are making a promise, then we will use will with first person and shall with other subject. But if we are just speaking about the future, that this event will happen, then we will use will with first second person and third person, and shall with first person only. So it depends on the kind of promise which we are making, that will or shall, which model will be used. Now would and could, if we are making a request to someone, so generally as we know that can is used or may is used for taking permission, for requesting someone. But if we are making informal request, we will use can. But if we want to pressurize, if we want to influence a person to compliment us, to do the work which we want from them, to accept our request, then we will use could or would, so that our request would be accepted. Like, will you leave me alone please? Here there are less chances that your work will be done, your request will be permitted. But if you use could or would in place of will or shall, then definitely the person will get the message that you want to get it done for him. So would and could are more polite than will or can, and it can be used so that your permission, your request should be accepted. So would and could modals are used for polite request. Now necessity and compulsion. For necessity and compulsion we use must modal, but there are some other words also which can be used for necessity and compulsion, that is have to, had to, have got to, will have to. So what is the difference between must and have to? Both are used for necessity and compulsion. Must suggest the desire of the speaker and have to suggest an external compulsion. If we are using must model in a sentence, it means we want, or the person who is speaking wants you to do that work. But if you are using have to, then if you wish to get the work done or not, you will have to do that work in all cost. Like, you have to pay the fees or tuition fees or school fees, at all cost you have to pay it. If you want to get it done or not, you will have to do it. So have to is used, or had to is used for external compulsion, and must is used for compulsion or necessity only. Fine. So must means the speaker wants the something that is done, and have to is used for external authority or as a rule. Now next one is need not. Need not suggests the absence of necessity or compulsion. Like, I need not get up so early, it is vacation time. So it is showing, need not is showing absence of necessity. Now for prohibition, must not you will use for prohibition. You must not break the traffic rules, you must not be your cars must not be parked in front of the gate. So it is prohibition. For prohibition we will use must not or ought to. For wish, we use may. It's very common to use, like, may you live long, may you live a long and healthy life, may all the desires of your come true. So these all are our wishes, and for expressing the wishes of someone, we use the model may. Now last but not least, it is dare. Dare is also a model which is used not to afraid to something. It is generally used in negative sentence and in question. And when dare is used as a normal verb, negatives and questions are formed with do or did. Like, I don't dare to climb that tall tree. It is in negative sentence. So here we will add do or did along with it. Do you dare to challenge him to a fight? So here also in interrogative sentence, if we are using dare, then also we will use helping verb do or did. So this is all about the models. I hope you have learnt it most. Fine. Have a nice day.